Hey dudes and dudettes, and welcome to Let's Replay. I'm here, sadly today, to do sort of a rant. There's even more Pokemon controversy going on. It's February, we are now very close to Pokemon Home being released, and the pricing such as features for this system has been revealed to us. And it's not looking good. My first thought is, when should we all sort of band together and say that enough is enough? Because I don't know whether to call this a scam or just plain rip-off or whatever the case may be. I know a lot of PokeTubers seems to be fine with this, and that's great for them, I guess. But I strongly, in my own opinion, feel like it is time to stop making excuses for whether it's the Pokemon company or it's GameFreak being behind this. But it's seriously enough right now. So, I don't know even where to start. This obviously isn't scripted. I'm here to look upon the service together with you guys. If you're not informed, I want to inform you. And yeah, you of course are welcome to set up your own opinion in regards to the information I'll be giving you. I won't be speculating too much in stuff that hasn't been revealed, so stuff I don't know about. But just having stuff here being revealed to us is strongly enough for me not at all to be happy with what's going on here. We have the Pokemon controversy of Pokemon Sword and Shield not being good enough in a lot of people's eyes, mine included. It's still all a matter of opinion, but yes, my opinion included. I'm not very fond on how those two games turned out. I'll probably briefly touch on that too for you guys. So yeah, I won't dwell too long upon this. Let's just jump into things right away, okay? So the Switch, totally love the console. I've given Nintendo their fair share, or rather GameFreak, the Pokemon company, their fair chances here. Purchasing both Pikachu and Eevee here, let's go. As well as Pokemon Sword to try things out. Even though I was very skeptical in regards to the quality of Pokemon Sword when the controversy started rolling out, I wanted to give them a fair chance. In regards to my experience with Pokemon, I love the franchise as a concept. It's unbelievably clever in the grounds of things. Gotta catch them all. It's, I don't know, I just feel very involved with the thought of the franchise, and therefore really like it. Well, you can see on the merchandise I'm wearing, for example, we have Pikachu here, who doesn't look too good in regards to the green skin. You're awfully pale, dude. And yeah, you can see on the tail, of course, that is a dude. Never mind that. Mew, my favorite, so Chibi Mew, and we have a bunch of Pokeballs and other stuff. I don't even know. Other than that, Pokemon Plus, because I've played an awful lot the first 2 years of the Pokemon Go games. And that's actually where I come to meet my girlfriend, which is quite a fun story. But as of Pokemon and my experience with it growing up, I sort of only played the first generation and loved it to death back then. I love that. I love the enemy, even though I quite couldn't stand on Ash Ketchum, I'm sorry. If we look at our games collection here, yeah, games I could be streaming for you guys on Twitch or playing for you guys here on YouTube. If we go to P, here we go. You can see that our Pokemon collection starts with Pokemon Blue version and ends with, let's see here, Pokémon Tournament, just because that's sort of a spin-off and not a core one. If you go into core, yeah, it ends with Sword. So I own a bunch of Pokemon games, haven't been playing them all fully, because ironically enough, I feel like these Pokemon games have not really been evolved as I feel like they should have. Nonetheless, let's not beat around the bush anymore. Let's get in to Pokemon Home. So, in regards to the service, available February 2020. We have just reached February, so probably, maybe in the beginning of the month, we'll see. And this should be, or I thought, a replacement to Pokemon Bank. So you could make sure to transfer Pokemon wherever, whenever, and store them all in kind of one database. So you really could catch them all, you could collect them all. That doesn't seem to be possible at the release of this at least. We're gonna get into exactly that. And I don't know, why not start off here by watching their premium plan? Because there's two versions of this. There's actually one basic version, which is free, and it's one premium version. I want to make sure you all know that before throwing down complaints in the comments or something. That's, yeah, just telling me there's a free version. I know there's a free version, however, it's basically without any sort of value, at least for those who care about Pokemon and their Pokemon games, their Pokemon collection, whatever the case may be. So you can see 12 months, $16. That's the cheapest option. You can also take 1 month for $3 or 3 months for $5. But the cheapest option really is to go with $16 a year, that is. And I, for one, feel like just at the start it's very expensive, since Pokemon Bank, the predecessor to this, was just $5 a year. I do have a Pokemon Bank account, for those wondering as well. Nonetheless, let's get into the feature here. So with a basic, if you choose the basic version here, you cannot bring Pokemon over from Pokemon Bank. So those of you, like me, who have Pokemon stored up in Pokemon Bank, needs to pay at least $3, but if you want to have this, I don't know, working together with Sword and Shield and other games that may come in the future, will come in the future, you really need to pay, and the best sort of plan for your wallet would be $16 a year. Yeah, just to transfer from Pokemon Bank. What does that mean? Essentially, we're getting back to it very, very soon. The number of Pokemon that can be deposited to this service, to Pokemon Home, are 30 if you don't pay anything, and it's 6,000 if you're paying. These 30, I don't know, play a Pokemon game and you've broken this in like 2 hours or something. If you're playing through the game and not strictly focusing on only catching Pokemon, you can probably do it faster than, depending on the game, of course. So 30 isn't a whole bunch. It may be enough to sort of handle transitions from Pokemon Bank if you only have a few favorites there or something. Sadly though, as we just saw, you need to pay to be able to transfer from Pokemon Bank. So that goes out the drain as well. Number of Pokemon that can be placed in Wonder Box at once. 3 in the free version and 10 in the premium. None of these are really high values, so I would say that the difference isn't too high. However, a small one, and it's there. Number of Pokemon that can be placed in the global trading system at once. It's 1 for the free one and 3 for the premium one. So same here, the difference isn't huge at all. However, just having 1 there seems to be more of a tease than anything else. A way for you to try out the feature, and when you're realizing you're liking it, you would like to pay to at least get 2 more instead of just going with 1 all the time. What Wonder Box is and what GTS, Global Trading System, is, we're getting into very soon too, for those of you who doesn't know. In regards to room trade, in this feature or this system, you'll be getting your own room, and you can, with a free version, only participate in others' room trades, and if you pay, you can host your own as well. And lastly, the judge function, which isn't available in the free version, however available in the premium version, which once more you gotta pay for. So in regards to the cost here, many may say that $16 a year isn't that high, even though it was just $5 a year for Pokemon Bank. And I can see how 16 isn't really a huge amount of money to pay. I mean, just go without fast food one day and eat plain food instead and you're there. However, in my opinion, it's really the principle of the matter. If we look to Sword and Shield, for example, you buy the game for $60. Since the game has been, or both the games have been so lackluster in content, and stuff have been thrown out of them, not only Pokemon, but here, as we will get back to, Wonder Trades, Global Trades isn't in the games at all, which has been in the predecessors to them, and has been beloved features by many players. So yeah, since they picked out those, you want them in this as well. So to be making the games less lackluster, you would have to buy the expansion pass that has just or newly been announced by the Pokemon company as well, and the GameFreak. That is another $30. This costs $16, as we said, and to be able to do anything online at all on your Nintendo Switches, you need to play for Nintendo Switch Online, which is $20 a year. Stacking on top of that, since you need to be able to move from Pokemon Bank, and Pokemon Bank also costs $5 a year, as I said multiple times earlier. This actually means that to play these games fully, you need to pay up $131. And that is just to be able to play them fully for 1 year. That will, of course, keep growing if you're staying consistent with your playthrough of the games. So $131. It's crazily expensive for what essentially many say, stop complaining, this is a kid's game. Yeah, it is a kid's game that a lot of grown-ups enjoy. But whether you're a kid or a grown-up, it's $131 to fully experience it. And that is crazily expensive. Many hardcore players, many competitive players, actually buy both versions of the game to be able, or of any game, to be able to get all of the Pokemons. There you have to stack up another 60. And since they've been very weird in my opinion with expansion passes, if you buy an expansion pass and have both games, it for some reason, which I only can imagine is to make even more money, won't work on both your versions. So you actually have to buy two. You have to buy two expansions. The expansion sets, in my opinion, $30, too much, should have been 20 at the very most. However, now if you want them for both games, as I'm saying, you need to pay up $60 more, which is a completely new game. So that would take you to $221 a year. And that is even more expensive than the expensive sum of $131. So I can't see how even the PokeTubers can defend this. I really can't. Crazy expensive with zero reason to be so. I understand that the Switch games, Sword and Shield, are more expensive than their 3DS counterparts, because it's more expensive to produce a game for the Switch. However, none of us can dodge the fact that Sword and Shield really hasn't come too long, stretched too far away from what the 3DS had to offer us. So, in my opinion, especially if you look at the graphics, because sadly enough, I actually believe the graphics of Let's Go, or rather the aesthetics of those games, to be more compelling. I'm more happy about those aesthetics than I am Sword and Shield. I actually think, never mind the ugly trees, never mind everything there that has been talking to, the games, in my opinion, looks virtually uninteresting. I'm not saying that the Let's Go games are perfect in any stretch of imagination. They are very lackluster in their lighting and shadow parts of the aesthetics. Another topic. Let's leave it at that. Let's instead keep on moving on here. So very expensive system here in regards to Pokemon Home, especially if you consider up the games that's being sold to you as well. I would actually say that the Let's Go games probably would be the last time they could excuse themselves with releasing multiple copies of the game. Nowadays, with the amount of space they have on the cartridges or CDs, whatever the case may be, in regards to console, it would be easy for them to just program 3 different versions of a game on one cartridge, and they don't have to do 3 completely separate ones, because Sword and Shield isn't 3 completely separate games either. There's 2 of the same game with minor differences. You can do the same thing. Just go with the starter you'd like in the game, and depending on the starter you have selected, there you go. You have selected your version of the game. Specific Pokemon will be unlocked just for you because you've chosen that starter. Gym battles may look different to you because you've chosen that starter. Yada yada yada. Not hard at all for GameFreak to actually look into. Nonetheless, sorry, I'm rambling. Let's keep on moving here. So, what do you get with this premium or this system, whether you pay for it or not? As of now, Pokemon Go coming soon, so it doesn't work whenever this gets released. However, as we said before, you can transfer from Pokemon Bank. If you do so, you need to be paid for the service, otherwise you can't. If you don't have Pokemon Bank, they're being awfully nice to you and letting you get Pokemon Bank for a month for free. Question is, if you don't have Pokemon Bank, why would you need Pokemon Bank? Beats me. Especially since Pokemon Bank costs $5. This Pokemon Home costs $16. Maybe let us get Pokemon Home for free the first month to transfer instead. I don't know. I guess never mind, right? So Pokemon Let's Go and Eevee can be transferred to Home as it is right now, as well as Pokemon from Sword and Shield. You can see the arrows here. They're not making this very easy for us, and yeah, that's why I'm trying to explain things. Sorry if I'm doing a bad job at it. So yeah, Let's Go in Pokemon Pikachu and Eevee can be transferred to Home, as well as Pokemon from Sword and Shield, and Pokemons can be transferred from Home to Sword and Shield if they are in Sword and Shield. We all know about 400 Pokemon was released for Sword and Shield when the game came. They turned down the Pokemon to half the amount, just about. And if they're not in Sword and Shield and are in Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, they cannot be transferred to Sword and Shield. However, pay close attention to, if you transfer Pokemon to Pokemon Home from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu Eevee, you can't get them back. Same goes for Pokemon Bank. When you have transferred, you can never get them back to their original place. Which means that, yay! As long as you have over 30 Pokemon in this, you need to keep paying. Awesome. I believe there is said that the same will be true for Pokemon Go. You can implement Pokemon from Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home. You will not be able to transfer them back. We've seen it before in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, where we could transfer Pokemon from Go, couldn't get them back. I actually have a Mewtwo from Go in here, of course. Never mind that. Yeah, so another thing I realized that may... You know what? We're getting to that too, because that isn't displayed right over here. Connect to Pokemon Sword and Shield, we've been through this. You can send Pokemon to Pokemon Home, you can send it from Pokemon Home. Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, you can send it to Home, cannot get them back. Pokemon Bank costs $5 a year. I originally thought that Home would replace this, but it's not. So to have both your 3DS game being active in playing that, and having your Switch being active in playing that, and want to transfer Pokemon from Home, or rather from your 3DS game to Home to your Sword and Shield or whatever may be coming in the future, you need Pokemon Bank as well. So your yearly fee has now been pushed up for just the ability to transfer your Pokemon from $16 a year to $21. That's awesome. If we get into trading here is where I'm gonna explain these terms that we may not have known before. So in the 3DS games, this has been built into the games. That has now been removed, probably because this feature or this system was coming. Pokémon Home was coming and they want us to get it, they want us to pay for it. So, Wonder Box, what do? You place a Pokémon in that box. You can place sort of whatever, and you're getting sort of whatever back. You place a random Pokemon, you're getting a random Pokemon back. You can place a good Pokemon, you can get a bad Pokemon back. You can place a bad Pokemon, you can get a good Pokemon back. I guess this depends on what type of player you are. However, that's the feature. This is exclusive to this system. It is not in Sword and Shield, which has been in Sun and Moon and whatever 3DS titles have been before. So they removed that content to place it here instead. A lot of people appreciate it being here, absolutely. However, you paid $60 for a game that's basically bumped down from what was in a $30 game for the 3DS. So I strongly believe this should have been in the game as it was. Same thing here, GTS, Global Trading System. Here you let other people know what Pokemon you want to trade, what Pokemon you want to have it traded for. And you can set variables like levels and their sex and stuff like that. So that will help you out in this as well. And this is the same thing. Premium plan to be able to do it with more Pokemon than just one. We have the room trade, which you can participate in if you well, no matter the version. However, if you pay, you can host room trades. And what this is basically a smaller version of the GTS one. So what you can do here is you have an easier time finding a particular person to be trading with, for example. And then we have friends trade. So you can make friends and you can trade with simply your friends. This, for one thing, is also locked to the pay alternative, I'm fairly certain. And as you can see here, cannot be used by users under the age of 16. So this is one of multiple features that can't be used if you're under 16. Which just brings me the question, here we go, on premium here. Where is the option for those that are under 16? Where is the lower amount of payment per month if you're under 16, since you're not getting all the features? Also very weird. So we're getting into more features here. We have the National Pokédex. So for everyone who has been following Sword and Shield sort of closely at least, you know that there's been a huge controversy in regards to so many Pokemon being cut from the games. The controversy has been that they're not only cut from the games, you can't catch them there, you can also not transfer them from Pokemon Bank or Pokemon Home that comes now into Sword and Shield if GameFreak hasn't programmed them in there. Here you got a National Pokédex for this system, whether you're on the phone or your Switch, where you can collect all the Pokemons. You basically get a Pokédex. Your Pokemon Home is also your Pokédex. Great. However, should probably have been in the game from the very beginning, as well as we got the internet. If you're using this on your phone, why not go to Bulbapedia, where you probably have even more information in regards to all of the Pokemon? I don't know. So a lot of people appreciate this. I feel like it's very little for the price, for the asking price. Mystery gifts. You can be getting gifts, and these, as we're coming to further down below, will not be as easy as you just open them, you just get them, and then they get downloaded to your game. We're getting to it. Same thing here though. Must be at least 16 years old. So if you're under 16, you're not getting any gifts. Where's the lower amount of payment option? Beats me. You can get items and such as gifts as well. And here I sort of believe is the kicker for me. The judge Pokemon function. You can see essentially how great your Pokemon would be in battle. A feature many competitive Pokemon players know about, absolutely, because they're in the games. As well as Pokemon Go players actually know, because your leaders in your respective teams tell you how good your Pokemons are. So that is in this as well. Question is, how badly do you need it when it's already in the games? So this is something that hasn't been removed from the games. Thankfully, I don't think they could remove it actually. However, it gives you very little here since you already have it in your game. And if you have Pokemon you deeply care about, you know how good they are, because otherwise you wouldn't have invested your time in them. I'm not complaining about it being here, but I feel like it's... I mean, of course it's here. It could not be here in regards to how this system is set up, so I don't know. And your room, you can customize your own room, which I believe is the only thing in this setup that I feel are a great addition. It's nothing that needed to be there, but they've added it anyway to make people want to use this and to customize it a little bit for yourself. You clear certain challenges in this, and you can get posters, as you can see here, to place up on your sort of wall, where you could be trading Pokemon with others and such. It's a cool feature, however, it's very little for the amount you're paying. This feels more and more to me, since the games are no longer 30, it's 60. They still want you to buy double the games. This should be, as other games have done, a free app where you can do all of these stuff and sort of interact with others to make sure the games stay relevant and such. An example of a game using a free app, placing statistics and such, is the Battlefield series, where you could download an app completely free, and you had things quite like this works actually. However, the asking price was 0. So, battle data, news will be sent to you there, so it may be news in regards to events or gifts, which you will be very happy with. There may be news you don't even care about, but they get to advertise it to you, so you're paying to get the advertisements as well. Awesome. You're also getting Pokemon Home points, which can be exchanged for battle points, which you're using in the game. And that is probably something you won't care at all for if you're not very into Pokemon, if you're not a hardcore player. Good that it's there, but once more, something I felt, of course, it should be there. Nonetheless, here we're getting into another nitty-gritty part. You can see by the end here, of course, that some of these features that I will go through here will not be available for players under the age of 16. So once more, where is the pay cut? Where do they have a cheaper version for this to buy if you're under 16, since you're not getting every feature? So yeah, you can get this for your Nintendo Switch, and you can get this for your mobile phone, whether it's Android or iOS. Differences in regard to Android and iOS, I don't know, I guess we'll see when it comes out, since I know that Pokemon Go has been struggling with some things on one device and not on the other. Let's not mind that for now. Here we have some things you only can do on the Nintendo Switch version and some things you only can do on the mobile version. I don't think this is them taking away and making it uncomfortable for us to use this service. I'm gonna be blankly honest and say I think they haven't managed to get all of these to work, and therefore they don't work on both platforms. GameFreak, I think, I don't know this, I won't say that they're incompetent or anything, but the games, even though they're out for Switch now, really are 3DS games. They have been shown time and time again that they don't know how to optimize their games. And I would feel like a lot of features that we all want for the games would probably be added if they just could manage to program that. If it's Game Freak's fault, or if it's the Pokemon company's fault who won't give them more resources, can't say, so won't say. However, let's get into the differences here. So, move Pokemon with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. You can only do that on the Nintendo Switch version. May make sense. We don't know how this works yet or how it looks. However, you cannot do that on the mobile version. Move Pokemon with Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Same thing here. Can only do on the Nintendo Switch version. So thus far, why would you even get the mobile version? We're getting to that. Move Pokemon with Pokemon Bank. Can be used both on the Nintendo Switch version, mobile version. However, you need to pay for that. Once more, in their lack of information to us, they haven't told us. I would assume that if you get Pokémon Home, you can use it under one license for both platforms. Both on mobile and both on the Nintendo Switch. However, we don't know that. What if you have to pay $32 a year to have it both on the Switch and the mobile phone? I mean, that's how the expansion packs for Sword and Shield works. Yeah, there are 2 expansion packs, you're getting both for one price, but if you own both Sword and Shield, you need to buy it twice. Could be the same thing here. I'm gonna be nice and say that it's probably not that way. I'm gonna give them the benefit of a doubt. However, could be, we don't know yet, because they haven't told us anything. The judge function works on both platforms, so you can judge how good your Pokemons are on both Nintendo Switch and on your mobile device. But here it comes. Trade Pokemon. You cannot be trading Pokemon on your Nintendo Switch. You can only do that on your mobile device, which already means that if you want to use this service, you need a Nintendo Switch to move your Pokemon. You need mobile phone to trade them. So you will need both versions. They will reach you with their advertisements on both the Switch and your mobile phone, hopefully for the low cost of $21 a year, because you need Pokemon Bank too, if you want Pokemon right now to move. Receive mystery gifts will not be done on the Nintendo Switch either. It will only be available on the phone version, and from the little I've been able to read, I think that if not all, then some of these mystery gifts you will get will simply be a code. So you will manually have to type that code into your Nintendo Switch after you received it on your phone. Not the optimal way to do it, but that's how it works. Check battle data only on your phone, not on your Nintendo Switch. Check news, so a news section, I would imagine, only on your mobile phone, not on Nintendo Switch. And exchange Pokemon Home points for battle points only on your Nintendo Switch version. So yeah, it's for both your mobile phone and Nintendo Switch, but everything can't be done on both versions, which means that you need both versions, no matter what they will cost. So, to sum things up, I really feel done with Pokemon for a while now. As I started with saying, I've really appreciated growing up with Pokemon. It's been so close to me. I met my girlfriend through Pokemon Go. Have a lot of great memories of both the trading card game, which I own all of the original printed sets for, all of the 5 originals whenever it was released. So really appreciate that. Really appreciated the games, both spin-offs and the main series, even though I strongly feel like, yes, they haven't evolved as much as they really should have. However, this service just puts me over the edge right now. Especially when games like Temtem being released, where, yes, the good designed Pokemons, which are quite a few, are in my opinion much better designed than any Temtem. However, the badly designed Pokemon are worsely designed than Temtems, even though Temtems in their designs are more spread out, and the Pokemon do have more of a theme to them, so you know that it's a Pokemon when you look at it. Nonetheless, I'm mentioning Temtem just because I'm playing that on this channel right now, because I want to get through it. And also, no matter what you feel about Pokemon, no matter what you feel about Temtem, it's great for Pokemon to actually be getting another company rivaling them in regards to the creature collecting genre, because as it seems like now, Pokemon really needs some competition to start stepping up a little bit, do more with this franchise, more with the games, less when it comes to paid services on the side, and really get back Pokemon to a great value. When you buy a Pokemon game, you want to get a great value out of it. I mean, to get back to Pokemon Sword, I haven't even beaten the... I've beaten all of the gyms, and then I haven't cared to pick up the game again. Because man, there are so many things lacking in it. All from content being cut, to exploits being done in regards to the raids. The raids are a great idea. But it's so easy for people to exploit it. We have PokeTubers getting out there on YouTube giving you tutorials on how to exploit it. And if you love a game, whether it's Pokemon or anything else, and you want to make a living on it, you want to make videos, you want to talk about it, and you have no problems at all talking about exploits and encouraging people to use them, then the base game must be lacking in some sort of way. If you look to Pokemon Go, which also is a game that lacks severely, especially in the beginning, but still, of course, there have been YouTubers talking about... Oh, I'm blacking out on it. If you cheat by change your GPS positioning. I'm blacking out. I can't remember whatever it's called. Nonetheless, you're probably gonna tell me down below. If you had serious Pokemon Go YouTubers talking about it and encouraging that, I mean, something would be wrong with the mechanic of going out and finding the Pokemons. Yes, there are YouTubers doing that, but they are looking down. They're being looked down upon by other Pokemon Go YouTubers who doesn't. So, in my mind, that tells me that something is severely wrong with the core form of the raid battles in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So lacking in fact that I lost all interest as soon as the exploits came out. I lost all interest in both raiding, which also has to do with the online working so terribly, but that's besides the point. And also online battles. Everyone being able to exploit to get whatever Pokemon they want, when they want, shiny if they want. It takes away all the charm for me. All the charm. Nonetheless, I've been here ranting for far too long now. I'm really sorry. Thank you very much if you stayed put through this. Really appreciate you for doing that, giving me a chance here. Once more, these have all just been my opinions. Feel free to disagree. However, I feel like it's definitely time to let either GameFreak, but probably more the Pokemon Company, know that this is no longer okay. It is time. Release one game instead of two, now that we're out on the Switch. Up the quality of the games. You're making a lot of money on the Pokemon genre as a whole. Yes, the games are no longer the biggest source of income for the Pokemon Company. However, you need both the merchandise, the anime, and the games to keep the interest high. And you're making a lot of more money selling the games than you are creating them. Look at other franchises like, just to throw out something, Assassin's Creed, which looks very good in regards to both details and their aesthetics. Why not try making Pokemon look and work even better to make sure that your franchise continues to stay up on top when it comes to games too? Because, guys, we really gotta start being tired of playing the same game over and over again with too few advancements. And I know making advancements in a game where you have over 800 3D models that needs to be tweaked, that needs to be finalized or needs to evolve, needs to be better and better in quality. I know it takes time and it takes an among us amount of resources, but why not try to make things a little bit better by tingling a little bit with that instead of making a curry dex for your game. A curry dex, come on. Look at the camping feature. All the talk about the Pokemon in Sword and Shield, they had to cut half of them because they wanted to make better animations. Yeah, we all know that there aren't better animations. They're the same animations in regards to battle. They may have, which I don't know many people talking about, they may have made other and better animations in regards to the camping feature. However, if you can go in camp, look at your Pokemon running around, why the heck do we have a curry dex instead of having the ability to have the Pokemon follow us around when we run through our adventure? It just blows my mind. I don't even know. Nevertheless, we're ending things off here. Thank you very much for staying with me through all of this. Really appreciate you guys being here. As you can see, we're a very small YouTuber. We are gonna get back to Pokemon in the future. I have a lot to say, not only negative things, of course. Look at me, I like the franchise, I like the idea of the franchise. I'm just feeling they're taking a lot of wrong turns at this very moment. So yeah, nonetheless, thank you very much. Please subscribe if you wanna keep in touch with what we're doing in the future and also support me a little bit. Like the video if you think I have any sort of values to my opinions. Dislike it if you feel I'm talking without knowing anything at all, if you feel like all I'm saying is bull. Nonetheless, you're helping me out and I appreciate that. Also, please use the comments however you would like. I almost said. Let's get a conversation going down there. How do you feel about Pokemon Home? How do you feel about Pokemon as a franchise at this very moment? Yeah, what you agree with, what you disagree with in regards to my opinions. Let's get a conversation going. Come on guys, I really appreciate that. Also, if you like these sort of games, I do really, even though it's not perfect at all and it's still just early access and without being promoted for it in any sort of way, I do encourage you to just look into Temtem to see what they're doing that Pokemon isn't, what can Pokemon learn from Temtem, what should Temtem have taken or learned from Pokemon. Let's get a discussion going. Guys, take care, have a great rest of your day, stay super, and I hope to see you very soon again when we're back, hopefully with some more fun topics. Bye guys.